Omni-man's power levels are one of the most unstable things I have seen in the Invincible series. In fact, I would say that the whole Invincible power system in a way is shaky, because when I rewatched all the episodes of season 1 and season 2, I started to see that there are some things that I cannot actually take seriously in the show. For example, when Omni-man was introduced in season 1 of Invincible, he was given this amazing feat where he was shown to be a step, in fact, miles above the rest. A good example of this was the airplane scene when he was throwing a baseball with Mark in the sky, and he was able to throw a ball that went around the planet back into his arms, right? And that one gave us a very good understanding of the level of power that Omni-man possessed. And he was like in the top 5 rankings at the time when we saw this, because we were expecting the world of this guy. He was a huge contender for that ability. But when we see him take on the Guardians, it is a certain drop from what we expected from him as a character. Now, I'm not saying this to hate on the character as well. I think Nolan is an amazing character in the series, but his powers are a bit like, how will I put it now, unstable. When he was fighting the Guardians, it's a very decent drop from what we are introduced to. We are looking at a man that could easily throw a ball around the planet and also wipe out an entire civilization in the span of what, a couple of days. But in the world of the but on planet Earth, it took like a longer period of time, like months. But on their planet, it was happening in a matter of days. So like, I guess time and all of that stuff happens there is different. But somebody capable of wiping out an entire civilization and other feats, such as being able to stop an asteroid that was the size of Texas, is the same person having an issue in taking down the Guardians of the Globe. Now, I'm not saying that it was supposed to be an easy win, but the fact that he was able to be considerably injured alone raises a lot of questions that need to be answered. And this is just from season 1 alone. I'm not even talking about season 2, when they obviously nerfed him when he was fighting with his fellow Viltrumites. Now, you could say that those are other Viltrumite soldiers as well, so they will be strong. But if you consider it in the grand scheme of things, wouldn't that mean that Omni-man is not actually like the strongest Viltrumite out there? Like at least top tier levels of strength in terms of being a Viltrumite? Because the descent in his power levels have become very, very obvious, and it's not even affecting Invincible as well. We will see Mark being able to fight creatures. Then the next episode, I'll see him lose to the Molar twins. The Molar twins begin to piece him up. Then some other episodes he's able to beat the Molar twins, but all of a sudden, a dragon, a man that can turn into a dragon, is able to bite through his skin and mortally injure this guy. Or in the beginning of season 2, he loses the fight to some underground volcanic creatures that are piecing this boy up. So it's weird to see, but I started having issues with it because people started comparing him to Superman, and I've seen this comparison a lot of times, and I'm like, with the little amount of details that we know about Omni-man from the comic and from the TV show, and even when they tried to highball him to insane feats as him being able to travel across space very fast and also being able to stand close to a black hole, I like all of those things. They are visually appealing, but that doesn't really scale him to anything, let me say, as grand as they are making it to be, because in his verse, he's not even in the top 3. He's not even in the top 5, if we are being honest though, if we are being sincere with ourselves. Omni-man was introduced in the beginning as being a high hitter, a very strong opponent, somebody that will literally be the end of the planet. But when we see him fighting in season 1, he can barely keep up with everybody, bro. This is somebody that is having an issue taking down the Reanimen, and you might say that they are jumping him, understandable. But then again, we are given a scene where he is fighting a literal kaiju, and he couldn't even take it down by himself, bro. Isn't that kind of insane? Like, think about it. It was when he and Mark combined forces to take down the kaiju, that was when it was put down. Omni-man was going to lose that fight regardless, which was actually insane. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't really seem proper or natural to me, but I feel like the power scaling is a bit wavery on there. Now, I'm not a very huge power scaler. I care more about the story most of the time, but the more I see these things in TikTok videos, on live streams, on YouTube videos, people trying to, scale Omni-man to Superman, bringing all these feats that are basically inconsistent with his character, because most of the time he is able to accomplish these things, but things that are supposed to be of a lesser consequence to him literally puts an end, literally puts him in a struggle, which makes no sense to me. So I didn't want the video to be too long. I just want to drop this whole tidbit here and just let you all, talk about it in the comment section. If you feel that is the case, with power scaling is a bit inconsistent, let me know. But if you feel that I may have made a mistake here in this matter, you can also correct me in the comment section, and I will see if you are right or you are wrong, bro. So that will be all, and until next time, I remain Straw David. Have a nice day.